The Sydney Roosters were a class above the Cronulla Sharks, while there were wins for Manly and the Rabbitohs in Saturday's NRL action. Quick navigation Sharks no match for the high-flying RoostersLuke Keary has laid on a masterclass to lead the Sydney Roosters to a 30-16 NRL thumping of fellow top 4 fancies Cronulla. While the Premiers were often sloppy, they ran out convincing winners thanks to some moments of brilliance, particularly from Keary, who led the rout with 3 try assists at PointsBet Stadium on Saturday night. The Roosters turned the screws in an 11-minute period either side of half-time, during which they ran in 4 tries. The Sharks lost skipper Paul Gallen, ribs, on game day, compounding the absence of Matt Moylan, hamstring, Aaron Woods, foot, and Wade Graham, knee. The Chooks' victory ensures their grand final rematch with Melbourne next Friday will double as a blockbuster top-of-the-table clash. External link, Sharks Roosters summary. The Roosters, 68% completion, 14 errors, and Sharks, 66%, 16 errors, were both poor with the ball, but Trent Robinson's side won it with some moments of class. After they led 6-0 late in the first half, they put on 3 tries, all on the back of Sharks' errors to take the game out of the home side's hands. The Roosters went 12-0 up on the stroke of half-time after they punished Shaun Johnson for a horrible lapse in judgment. With a minute on the clock, the Sharks' 5/8 elected to put in a chip which cheaply handed over possession. With the last play of the half, Keary landed a kick on a dime for Latrell Mitchell, who ran 60 metres to score as the hooter sounded in the background. External link, Sharks Roosters stats. The Sharks blew a golden chance to claw one back in the first minute of the second stanza when Briton Nikora broke open the defence and Bronson Xerri dropped it cold. From the next set, Mitchell spun out of a couple of tackles and sent James Tedesco over. And when the Sharks kicked it dead on the full from the restart, Boyd Cordner crashed over a minute later. The Roosters effectively sealed the result when Joey Manu produced a magical flick pass for Matt Ikuvalu, who simultaneously defied gravity and some desperation cover defence to plant it in the corner. The Sharks ran in 3 consolation tries to Josh Morris, Shaun Johnson, and Jack Williams to lend some credibility to the scoreline. Sea Eagles hold off Knights thanks to quick start. Manly has condemned Newcastle to its 4th consecutive NRL loss, holding on to win 26-18 despite prop Aden Fonua-Blake being sin-binned late in the match for flooring Mitchell Pearce. The Sea Eagles had appeared in control of the match when they led 26-12 with 13 minutes to play, before Mitchell Barnett ran onto a Danny Levi pass to score. Fonua-Blake was sin-binned from the ensuing kick-off, collecting a falling Pearce in the head while chasing a ball that hung high in the air. External link, Knights Sea Eagles summary. Pearce failed his HIA and didn't return, prompting Fonua-Blake to be sent on his way by referee Peter Goff. However, the Sea Eagles held on resolutely, as the Knights failed to crack the 12-man defensive line. It followed a similar incident earlier in the match when Curtis Sironen was put on report for a high shot on Callan Ponga. Sironen was allowed to stay on the field after Ponga initially continued playing, before later going off for a head check. Second rower Aiden Guerra also suffered a suspected broken ankle late in the match, adding to a horror night for a Newcastle team who had been expected to challenge for the NRL's top 4. After beating Cronulla in the opening round, the Knights have lost to Penrith, Canberra, St George Illawarra and the Sea Eagles. They were particularly slow out of the blocks on Saturday, as Manly raced to an 18-0 lead before Ponga kicked them into gear with a short grubber for Edric Lee, who powered himself over the line just before half-time. External link, Knights Sea Eagles stats. Ponga at least looked dangerous at the back, breaking the line 3 times in one of the few positives for Newcastle. Manly have won 3 games straight, entrenching themselves well within the top 8. Fonua-Blake was their best before the late sin-binning, providing plenty of early muscle alongside Martin Tapau and scoring a crucial second-half try as he ran through a gaping hole in the Knights' line. Apasai Koroisor was also better out of dummy half, breaking through in the lead-up to one try, while Kane Elgey set up one 4-pointer with a lofted ball to Jorge Tafua and Jake Trebojevic kicked short for Joel Thompson for another. Daly Cherry Evans was also strong as he celebrated his 200th NRL game, running 143 metres, kicking a 40-20 and busting through 3 tackles. Rabbitohs surge to pip the Warriors. Cody Walker's 4-try haul has lifted South Sydney past a defiant Warriors 28-24 in the NRL's first visit to the Sunshine Coast. The Rabbitohs 5/8 left to plant the match winner with 3 minutes to play, capping a stirring comeback that looked out of reach after a sleepy start. Walker and Damien Cook were the architects, combining all afternoon on Saturday in front of a record 11,912 crowd at Sunshine Coast Stadium. External link. Rabbitohs Warriors summary. The Warriors fought hard despite the loss of experienced halfback Blake Green before kickoff with a groin injury. Second gamer Chanel Harris-Tavita stepped up to guide the side well, kicking smartly and setting up a Tohu Harris try in the second half to edge the Kiwi outfit ahead 18-12, when Sam Lazone spun his way over in the 50th minute. The Rabbitohs looked out of options, but a big Sam Burgess hit on David Fusich brought them and the pro-South Sydney crowd to life. Ethan Lowe found the line soon after, and Walker, who had already scored twice in the first half, terrorized the left edge with 2 more in the final 7 minutes. He had Hooker Cook to thank, the speedy number 9 proving a continuous handful and laying on 2 of Walker's tries. External link. Rabbitohs Warriors stats with the scores deadlocked at 24-24. Both sides had cracks at field goals without success, before Walker took matters into his own hands with a diving effort that took Wayne Bennett's men to 4-1 this season. Warriors captain Roger Tuivasa-Sheck was electric in the first half, stepping off his right foot through the guts of the defence for the game's first try. He was hard to handle all match but will leave Queensland licking his wounds and crossing his fingers for good. News on Green. NRL ladder. External link. NRL 2019 ladder AAP. Let's block ads.